every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow and the rain. There's been a load of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in a good mood this week. Thanksgiving just passed. My favorite time of the year is fast approaching. Christmas is on the way, and we starting off the show talking about Jerry Jones. So I felt that it was only right that we give him a little theme music to to ride into. Man, what's going on, everybody?
Man, he a lot of that kind of that photo coming out of nowhere. At this time, at this interesting time, when other beefs are going on or whatever. I'm happy that my Cowboys are winning, but I kind of always voiced that I never was really a Jerry Jones like all the way fan, because something about him kind of just threw me off.
Hold on. We gotta slow down. Y'all getting ahead of yourselves, all right? Because first, the music fucked me up. Let's call it what it is.
Oh yeah.
But we definitely gotta let the people know what they tuned into. This is shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit.
We shooting the motherfucking shit, y'all.
You already know. Now go ahead, Shaun. My fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my brother.
I was just saying, man. I've always had to be. I feel like I was one of the more honest Cowboy fans. Like I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid off of this team, but I've always kind of stressed that I always wasn't a huge fan of Jerry Jones. What we're talking about is that photo popping up from 65 years ago when he was in middle school or high school or something like that.
He was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, and he just so happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I don't know.
Well, he said he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I think he was right where he was supposed to be in that moment, right where he wanted to be, where him and his counterparts was at. They was trying to stop the young brothers from entering the school. They didn't want the school to be segregated out there, and I think he was right up in the mix, because that excuse he gave seemed like a whole bunch of bullshit to me. It sounded like a whole bunch of bullshit. So I'm not about to give him a pass on that. He was there, man. You listen, if you was there in that moment, you was that close in the midst of the action, you was a part of that, and you meant to be there. And listen, he probably learned that from his family before him.
Yeah, that's a fact. There's a couple of things we got to lay out. We got to set the table so people get an accurate depiction of what was taking place, right? So like you said, you have the students outside boycotting the integration of the schools, right? Jerry Jones was 14 years old. He wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time, because he himself said that his football coach even warned the team, do not be out there boycotting or amongst the mob. So the head coach, who fully understood the situation and what was going on, advised his players to stay away from the entrance of the school for that reason, just so that you would not become a part of the mob. But as we've talked about offline, I don't think the picture is as damning as people really want to make it out to be, because what did we really learn about Jerry Jones that we didn't already know? We all have felt like, hey, Jerry Jones might be this type of individual. I mean, we saw it when he came out and said, I don't want none of my players kneeling during the Kaepernick situation in the NFL, right? So did the photos teach us anything new about Jerry? No. I think whatever we felt about Jerry Jones, this probably just enhanced it a little bit more. In the photo, he's not doing anything wrong other than standing there. But as Tripp said, based on where this took place in Arkansas and probably the way he was raised, I'm sure he wanted to be out there amongst the mob. So to me, I'm not big on the outrage for this, because I think we already knew this about Jerry Jones. Like Shaun said, I think we kind of already had an idea of what type of individual he was and how he was raised, being someone who was raised in the Deep South during all this time.
Yeah, man. It's and think about this, right? When we was in high school, somebody was about to fight. We all knew about it, right? And we talking about in a more modern time, right? So think about way back. Even we talking about what in the 50s. So
Yeah.
you know everybody knew everything that was going on in that town. You're not gonna sit and tell me that you didn't know that this was going on. Like the grown folks in your house and your neighborhood wasn't talking about nothing. It's like, come on, dog. Like let's really be realistic, because as kids, we probably ear hustle some adult conversations that we probably shouldn't have been listening to. And that was a really intense time in Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Little Rock, Arkansas. So it's like, regardless of the fact, like, you still got pie in your face because it looks crazy that you were even there. And you knew you wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's why I don't subscribe to the wrong place, wrong time. Because even before he did the press conference, when he released his initial statement, he said our head coach, he was a freshman in the high school on the football team, and their head coach had already warned the students about being out there. So it can't, wrong place, wrong time. That's only excuse you can use when you don't know the repercussions of what might take place. Wrong place, wrong time is like being in a car with somebody who might have something on them, and I ain't know, I just happen to be here. It can't be wrong place, wrong time when someone who's wise enough to advise you tells you don't go down there, and you still go down there.
Exactly. And I gotta say this, to Stephen A. Smith, because he was trying to cop a plea for Jerry Jones, talking about, because it was 65 years ago, and he shouldn't be having to deal with that ridicule. I ain't hear nobody talking, stepping up for Kevin Hart when Oscars, stopped him from hosting because of some tweets he put out, 10 years ago. So ain't no statute of limitations on racism, brother. Ain't no statute of limitations on hate. Sorry. You got to be held accountable for that. Especially, when, like you said, Eric, he was one of the main ones trying to shut down Kaepernick. Anybody that's kneeling, they up out of here. So bro, that's in you. It's still in you. It ain't come out to the light. Now, granted, you wasn't actually doing anything in the picture but standing there. You know what I mean? So I can't necessarily say you did anything, but I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened after that. But I can say this: I have seen those situations get real ugly. I've seen kids throwing stuff and doing things to black students that was just trying to go and get an education. So you was in the midst of that though, bro, and you got to be held accountable for it.
The only two things I agree with Stephen A, and I agree with you though, Trip. The only two things that I came away from it, and that I kind of agree with Stephen A, was like, one, cool, he was 14, right? We all knuckleheads at 14. I'm not condemning you for how you might have felt at 14 years old. The picture to me doesn't show anything. It doesn't really prove anything. Because like I said, I think whatever you already felt about Jerry Jones before this photo, is not like it changed it for you now. We kind of already figured Jerry Jones was this type of individual. But I will say this. I find it very interesting, the timing of this photo coming out, because let's not forget, just a couple weeks ago, we heard the reports where Daniel Snyder was threatening, like, I got dirt on all these owners. And how ironic that this picture comes out now when they trying to twist Daniel Snyder's arm to sell the team. That's the part that I came away from it. Like, I haven't really heard many people talk about that. I find it very ironic that we hear the report where Daniel Snyder's out there saying, I got dirt on every owner. If y'all try to get rid of me, y'all all gonna have to answer for every skeleton in y'all closet. And then a couple weeks later, this picture from over 60 years ago surfaces.
Dog, that's some different shit. So bust it, right? So it's been having me thinking. So lately, I just started watching Game of Thrones. I'm going back now, going to watch all the shows that I've been missing and shit. And they real sassy up in there. They be sassing each other. Everybody got some dirt on each other. You know what I'm saying? The game don't change or whatever. But yeah, like Jerry Jones, I'm pretty sure he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I honestly, personally, I think that was more of a business move that was kind of driven behind. So I still think it was kind of a racist decision, but it was also money driven as well, because by you telling them not to do that, you don't want to affect your bottom line, and you knowing that you're a white man in America, so you still have some type of precedence with a lot of people or whatever. So with that being said, by you not standing with your players, that doesn't show that you actually are in unity with your players. So Jerry is Jerry, man. What can we say? It's a lot of times we see people and we try not to be like real negative and be like, oh, it's something about them, but sometimes it's something about people, and it was something about Jerry.
Facts. So,
Something about him.
it is what it is. You got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, Jerry. And now look at you. Now you know what I mean. But
skeletons is coming out of the closet.
Everybody's going down. Snyder said he got something on everybody. He dropping all the info. He dropping the receipts.
Why he sassing everybody, man?
Said, if I go down, I'm taking y'all with me. Fuck that.
Right. Let's keep it a buck. Because remember when the United States government first started investigating the Redskins, the commanders now, right? But think about this, right? When they first started investigating Daniel Snyder and what was then the Redskins, right? Within like 2 weeks, John Gruden gets fired because now these emails get discovered. Like, so y'all telling me y'all was holding emails from 8 years ago that nobody knew about these emails, and now mysteriously because we're being investigated, you know what? I think y'all should all see these emails. Same thing with this picture. I don't think it's ironic the timing. Daniel Snyder does not want to sell this team, and he's basically going to apply pressure on every owner to make sure he doesn't have to sell the team.
Yeah, facts. Listen, in my Denzel voice, okay. You think you can do this to me? I'm putting on all you bitches. And that's what he's doing right now. He calling them out name by name and one by one. Everybody's going down. If y'all had anything to do with anything, Dan Snyder is putting that info out. So you better be prepared. I hope you ain't do nothing reckless, because he dropping the facts on everybody. Receipts is coming, and it's about to get real ugly. And this was a light one, even though we kind of already sensed this with Jerry Jones, but it was kind of fortunate that he wasn't actually doing anything. Because even if he was like at the front of the white kids that was in the picture, I would have still looked at it differently than I do with him standing where he is. So his position in the picture actually does kind of save him a little bit, but I'm not going to, I'm still gonna hold you accountable because you was there.
Right. And then look how this came out. This wasn't like a random social media account that put this out. The New York Post was the one who put this out. Who would have the power to get something like this to the New York Post? You got to be somebody very high up there for them to even respect where it's coming from.
Right.
Did he look the same? Did he look the same? Because I didn't really like look that hard at the picture. Like, did he really look the same? Like, that's nuts that you really find, people,
now when
they don't like you, they gonna find some shit,
right? And that's what I'm saying. Like if we send something over to the New York Post, that shit getting lost in the mail, bro. It's like, nah, all right, we'll get to it. We get to it. So you got to be somebody to be like, yo, I got something that y'all need to be paying attention to. Because then even like you said, you look at the picture, you be like, all right, what am I looking at? Well, if you look up just a little bit at about a 60-degree angle, that happens to be Jerry Jones right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that owns the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn Jerry, man. Let's get into something else, man. We because we live right now, so we actually kind of got a few like sports topics because there was a lot of stuff that was going on. Recently we had the young man from UVA that lost their lives in that shooting. I don't know if it was like a hazing situation or what, but before we even get any further with that, definitely want to send peace and condolences to their family because that's a real tough situation, and it just continues to get crazy.
Facts.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to them. We had unfortunately, the holidays are a great time, but last week we saw a lot of violence, man. Obviously there was the shooting in the gay club. There was the shooting in Walmart in Virginia, and then you had the University of Virginia students lose their life. So thoughts and prayers to all them families, man, because last week was a very tough week for a lot of families.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the guy talking about that situation in the gay club, the guy and his father, that was nutty, man. Because did y'all see the interview online? He kind of was more concerned with his son not being gay versus his son just going in there doing some wild shit. Like, that was just nutty, man. But the dude looked like he was faded anyways.
He looked like he was faded? Nah, he was faded. He was faded.
Definitely was faded. Like, both of them was an embarrassment.
What Pusha T said when Kilos came, we gave him Bobby Brown jaw. Because your man jaw was on that last hinge. It was about to be off the screws, off the hinges. His jaw was all over the place. But not to make light of it, the situation, because like I said, condolences to the families, but that's a prime example, like you said, Trip, about sometimes the household people raised him, because this man hears about his son shooting up a club, and the first thing out of his mouth was like, well, I was scared that he was gay. Like, that's what you were scared of? You wasn't worried about the violence that your son just, brought onto these innocent people. You were worried about his sexual orientation, his sexual preference. Okay.
But when you look at the father, you can tell that he's already unstable and has several screw looses, right? Several like it looks like he's on some type of drug, okay? Because we're way past medication. Because he looks like he just finished it in the crack pipe or something. So when you look at what the father looked like, it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not that far-fetched that your son is gonna go do something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Tripp's point when we talk about Jerry Jones. Some of these kids are raised in these homes where the hate is taught at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's not, children aren't born with hate in their heart.
Not
it's
at
something
all.
they taught.
It's taught.
You know what I'm saying?
It's taught and it's seen.
Right. It's taught and it's displayed to you. You see it every day. But I mean, the only reason they got the father on camera, I don't know if y'all noticed this. I looked this up though. The only reason they got him on camera because they told him it was the free crack giveaway.
No.
And so he showed up. He showed up thinking it was the free crack giveaway. And then they hit him with the mic. Like, he was like, oh, that's why he was so disoriented. Because he was like, I'm here for the crack. I'm not here to talk about nothing else. But since y'all got me here, I might as well.
I guess. I'm glad he wasn't gay. So
Shout out to Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah. They hit it with the way they got Ty. Remember how they got Tyrone in the intervention? This ain't the crack giveaway. Oh.
Yo, y'all ever know somebody that got arrested like on some dumb shit like that? It was a dude I went to high school with. He was arrested. They let him out, and then they called him and told him like he left his wallet or some shit, and they got him. Yo,
that didn't make no damn sense. He caught out there like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, some people, they don't really think about it though. I don't really know. I'm kind of questioning that anyways, though. Especially if you out here living foul, you gotta think about this shit a little. You gotta think twice, man.
Question though. How does him shooting up a gay club not make his son gay though? Because he could still be gay.
No, he was gay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they were saying that like later on in the report was saying that his son was identifying as they them or non-binary or one of those no offense, but one of those new things.
It's so many. It's nah. We got to keep it a buck. It's so many titles we can't keep up at this point.
It's like it's hard. It's like you have to relearn. We have to relearn things that are happening now because it's like I don't. And the newer generation, because this is where this is coming from, are making these things up and then getting offended to our generation and the older people, and they're like, well, you're being insensitive, but it's not being insensitive. It's just like we're learning as well, so you got to teach us. We don't know, like we didn't grow up. This is not where we came from. It was he, she, you were gay, you like women, you like men, or you were bisexual. That's it.
They're gonna have a new one tomorrow, and then they're gonna be mad because we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sorry. My mom the other day she was at a doctor's appointment, and she, the guy was gay, and she called him sweetie. I was like, Mom, why did you do that? Like, you can't do that now. Like, he probably was offended, or not even they were probably offended because you said sweetie to them. See, I'm learning.
I see you was very cautious with it too, Bree. I see how you were moving on that one. You kind of took it slow, so you didn't get none of the pronouns wrong. I respect that of you.
Right.
Yo, true story though. Like a lot of times, you just don't say anything. If you just kind of keep stuff just real neutral, that's probably like the best way, yo. Just kind of keep stuff neutral, because when you start trying to get into like, and I think that's for a lot of people, if when trying to, because that really is a thing for a lot of folks. I mean, because we low key. Not even low key. We 80s babies, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can be real ignorant and be real crazy with situations like that. So I don't know. I think personally for me, I just try to be neutral with those type of situations, because man, I don't want no smoke, man. I don't want no smoke. I don't want to be bothered with that. And then it's whole different ramifications now. We see how a lot of people are kind of getting canceled and having to come back and apologize.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, so just kind of got to be mindful. But yeah, I definitely feel you on that one though. Like. It's a lot going on. It's like even if on some just whatever, man. It be all type of stuff that's going on. Whatever people into, whatever people doing, the new shit people in, it's just shit different, man. Like we that age now where it's like we question everything.
No, but people also got to stop being so fucking sensitive about every fucking thing. Like you know what I'm saying? There's so much new stuff that's going on. You have to give people a chance to one, know that there's some new terminology that's going on, you know what I'm saying, and then two, get adjusted to using the new terminology because people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it's not just it's just we just so ultra sensitive because, like Bree said, her mom saying "sweetie," that's a term of endearment. That's something that like just regular. So if you get offended by that, which people do get offended by that, it's like, yo, what are we doing now? Like, can I say anything at this point without you being offended? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Am I allowed to say anything other than hi without? It's like, that's offensive, or how do you know they want to be called that? Like, what the fuck you mean? Bro, so it's crazy. It's a crazy time, crazy world we live in. But homie definitely was gay. Let's not forget a few years ago when that happened in Orlando. That dude was gay too. He had been in the clubs a couple times. So if you're not gay, I highly doubt that you're frequenting, gay clubs just for the sake of it. Like, nah, you go in there because you're gay, and it's fine.
How do you even know the clubs? Like, I don't know the gay spots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only know the spots and the nights of those spots because of friends that I have. And he didn't seem to me like to have friends like that. So you knew the spot, you knew the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that wasn't a gay club, then it might have had gay night or that kind of night.
He knew what night it
was. That happens if that's not right.
He knew what night it was.
Yo, but y'all been to the club that on one of those nights where it was like different clubs on different floors, and motherfuckers be like, "Yo, I'm gonna hurry up and walk upstairs and shit."
No, I've been in a gay club before because I got friends of all different persuasions, so I've been in a club before. It is what it is. Sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable if that's really not what you into, but for the most part, as long as I just don't want to see nobody up on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't care. Do what you do. But it's regular. People's regular. People just drinking, chilling, trying to have a good time. They living their life. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I have gay friends, female, male. I love a good kiki.
Not a kiki.
The kiki.
What's wrong with the kiki?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel
that's
like
the name of the episode,
woman,
a good kiki.
every woman, I don't know about guys, but every woman needs a gay friends. You have you have to have a gay friend because they teach you a lot of things. Like, you learn a lot of things from a good gay friend. I
gotta keep it a buck. That's a woman thing. That's a
time.
thing. I gotta keep it a buck. That's a female thing.
Sometimes they be kind of haters though too though. Can we talk about that? Because that's a situation too. Sometimes they could be haters. Sometimes they could be looking at you too, like that. Like, because a lot of bad joints be having the gay homeboy.
Yes.
Like, for some people they can't help. Like, I remember one time it was this one joint when I was like young boy, like in school. Dude would never leave, so we would all just be sitting there. And I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. We can't all just hang out at the same time, son.
Hold on. Let me ask you this.
He the third wheel. What we doing tonight?
He wanted a part of the action.
Has you or any of your homegirls, have y'all ever been like, I'm gonna turn this gay boy back?
Absolutely not.
All right, because I know people will be saying stuff like that. Your friends, Neil, you ain't ever had a friend that was like, I'm gonna turn him back.
No, but I've had female gay friends that were always trying to get the straight girl to tarnish the straight girl.
I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna ask you this, right? Because I only hear women say what you said when you was like, oh, everybody should have a gay friend. Only women that I've ever heard say that, right? You say that though, right? So let's say you had a gay best friend, you comfortable around your gay best friend always being around your man?
I mean, why not? Not always.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to a certain point in your age, like right now, in my age now, like that's kind of weird. Like we're not all gonna be hanging out together. But
Right.
of course, when we're younger, yeah, like we're all chilling. We're all we're all hanging out. It's happened before. Like, you know, I've had gay friends with, you know what I'm saying, guys that I was talking to, and they would all hang out. I would have guys that I was talking to that was like, nah, I don't want, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, they'd be extra sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I did have, you know, male friends that, you know, guys that I was talking to that didn't mind hanging out. Not on we're gonna hang out every single day, and when you come over, or I'm gonna come over, and you know, we all gonna three be hanging out together type of vibe. Not like that, but yeah, you know, we going to a party, we chilling, we doing whatever, of course. But I always had that one. I always have that one friend. She was always like, "Yeah, oh, that's your friend." I couldn't only barely even bring her anywhere because I'm like, "Come on, you trying to turn this one out too?"
Yo,
And half the girls will be with it, and I'm like, you know what?
Yes, they do.
Yo, or the gay girl, or the home girl that's like, yeah, you know her too.
Because women can be bigger creeps than men.
Yo, you know her too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Some of us have been down that path, you know. Like get
Facts.
dapping, handshake, and look and keep it moving.
Facts. Yo, can we before we jump off the live, I gotta shout out Dapper Dan. He just got the deal with Gap. He got the Dap now. They had the open on the 125th Street Gap on this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yeah, yesterday. They had it at the Gap on 125th Street. So big shout out to Dapper Dan. That man is a legend, an icon, and he's been doing this thing for what, 30 plus years, maybe 40.
Nah, bro, Dap been doing this since like the 60s, bro. Dap old,
Yeah.
man. That like if you read his book and all this other stuff, like that was a hustler. That was out here getting it in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Southern kid came up north, got to it. You know what I'm saying? So like that been doing his thing, man. I'm definitely happy to see that. He's somebody that I always love seeing, continue to level up. You know, with amongst all this other shit that's going on with these other entertainers and losing deals and stuff like that. You know, he just continue to level up and just stay who he is and stay true to him.
Facts. I'm sorry I had to work on yesterday, so I couldn't get over there. He was out there. Melville was out there too, so I would have been up in there all day.
It's gonna be up on the website now, though.
Yeah, it'll be up there. But I'm just saying he was actually at the store on 125th Street yesterday. Excuse me. So I couldn't make it, but I just wanted to definitely take a minute to shout out Dapper Dan because that's a good brother right there. Again, like I said, that's a legend. So big shout out to Dapper Dan. Dap.
That's a fact, man.
All right, listen, make sure you guys are following us on all our social media. Y'all see it on the bottom of the screen rolling across, facebook.com/shooting the shit. Of course, the YouTube channel, subscribe to that, youtube.com/shooting the shit. And then, of course, for everybody on our Instagram is at shooting the pod. Make sure you are subscribed to all our social media so that you guys can be tuned in when we go live on Wednesday nights. We ain't gonna give y'all the whole show. Y'all got to come in and subscribe and get on the podcast and rock out with us, show that support. But we definitely want to give y'all just a little sample of what we do here. With that being said, though, this is shooting the shit.
Shooting the shit.
We shooting the motherfucking shit, y'all.
Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose. No, on the ground, you. But I don't do this shit for nothing.